there is little that can be done to prevent new services entering the market. This from Premier David Burt when asked by Bermuda Broadcasting to share his views on ride-sharing. Last month, we reported that a digital ride-sharing service, Island Go, was operating illegally on the island, though the firm has committed to adhering to local laws once they come into effect. Premier Burt says it is inevitable that new services will try to enter the market in the meantime.
The government will be limited in stopping other ride-sharing apps from coming to Bermuda in the absence of regulation. And that is the reason why we wanted to put forward regulation. And if you look at the proposals that came from the Minister of Transport with regard to ride sharing, it was not going to compete with the taxi industry, but to be complementary with the taxi industry. I'm not familiar with this new ride sharing app, but I can only assume that it might be trying to undercut and undercharge what current taxis are charging. And that is what the fear of the taxi industry is and should rightfully be, because we've seen in many places in other jurisdictions where there's been pushback from the taxi industry, where ride-sharing apps have come in and have looked to undercut traditional taxis. So it's important to note the difference. The government of Bermuda put forward proposals that are still being consulted on regarding a ride-sharing structure in Bermuda that will complement the taxi industry, that will give taxis the first right to get a ride. If taxis aren't able to fill that demand, it will go over to a private car and it will not undercut the taxis. That's what the government of Bermuda is proposing.
The Premier said it was unfortunate that the general debate on ride-sharing has boiled down to personalities, and he calls for cooperation with a government proposal that seeks to protect the existing taxi industry.
My only message, it's not something I'm discussing in Brussels, certainly, but my only message would be that when the government is looking to do things to make sure that we can protect the industries in Bermuda and to make sure that we can serve our customers and tourists well, it is vital that we work along with the government, take off the space of, oh, this is something to do with a conflict or this is something here, and focus on the issues. The issues are very clear that we need to make sure that there are more transport services in peak times so our visitors and residents can get around. And the government has put forward a proposal that does not undercut the taxi industry. This new ride-sharing app may do so, and I'm sure that the enforcement will take place. But it's vital that we regulate the industry in a proper and correct way so that we can serve our customers better, so that we can serve our tourists better, but that we can also protect and enhance our vital taxi industry that is in Bermuda.